This is not going to be a very businessy or educational or creator centric talk. This is dedicated to my grandmother. It's the illusion of later. So, winters are coming, and if you were to ask me how I would describe winters, I would say it's that feeling of relief when you see the sun come out and finally honor you with its budgeted warmth in winters. Back in my hometown in Pathankot, I remember during winters, I would go in my front lawn and my grandmother, Dadi, would be there. She would most likely be getting a mustard oil massage, definitely eating oranges, knitting something, or making sevia, just busy doing something. Mustard oil and oranges is how I would describe the scent of winters for me. My dadi's name is Swarna. It literally means gold. And she would always be wearing these gold bangles and really heavy earrings. Literally, her earlobes would be weighed down by them. I often joke about it that had Newton observed that phenomenon, he wouldn't have to need to see a falling apple. So I decided the perfect gift for her would be a pair of gold bangles once I've made it. So I got my first job at Bain, did not feel like the right time. I don't think I was successful enough to gift her something that big then. So when I left that job, started building my content business. Again, did not feel like the right time, kept delaying it. See, the right time never really arrives. This later is the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. It's literally like Hogwarts. We all want to believe it's real, even when we know it's really not. Last year, in November, we lost her. It was her birthday yesterday. I couldn't be there because I had to be here for this talk. And I feel this is more important and a better way to honor her life. I'm really trying hard to not cry. Alright, so this is her, that's me. Those are my cousins, Tejas, Shreya Didi, and Krish. Everybody was there yesterday, but I'm here. I kept delaying this decision until there was no December left for me to postpone things to. There is this line, right? Loss is one thing, regret quite another. Loss took away a December from me to postpone that decision to. It took away the scent of winters from me. And the cramps of regret refused to leave. I really wish I spoke to her on call more often, got her the gold bangles sooner, went back home more often, and just asked her, Dadu, what's your favorite song? Who your favorite actor was? Did you really love Dadu? Did you have a crush on someone else? What were your regrets? See, regret, very simply, is just the ghost of a hope that dies accidentally, always prematurely, under the coward weight of short-sighted priorities. I'm still trying to find an exorcist to get rid of this ghost. Now, while making this presentation, I was looking for a picture of me when I'm 7 or 8, because when I was of that age, my dadi used to drape me in this exact sari. I don't know how I found this sari. So it's 2006, so I was 6 years old. Like most of us here, I used to love playing teacher. And she would drape me in this white chiffon sari with big blue flowers. At that time, obviously she was taller than I was, but her tall was 5 feet on her tiptoes on a good day. So her sari would literally trail like a royal drape for me. And she would give me her white heels with brown platforms so I could be as tall as her and talk to my invisible students. For some reason, I always thought she'll always be there on the left side of the same bed, of the same room, with the same smile, listening to me talk about things, build different things. Except that's not really the case. Now, all that's left in that room is the left side of the mattress that still remembers her shape. I have outgrown those heels, fortunately. But that is what growing up is, right? We think we are building futures, achieving milestones, but really we are just trading witnesses who could see us achieve those things. If you look at old pictures or old photographs, then for those moments, we are literally transported back to that time, right? If you read your old slam books, you would definitely smile after reading what your friends back then wrote, what you probably wrote. You would probably cringe a little, but you would definitely be transported back to that moment. And for those fleeting seconds, those people in the videos, in the photos, they'll be smiling back at you. And you will be in that moment again. You will again have this scent of winter, of mustard and oranges. You will again fit those heels, and you will again have the potential to be the Prime Minister of India, a scientist, and a rock star all at once. Okay, so we all know how our mothers wrap really expensive crockery and hide it somewhere in the kitchen where even Google Maps can't trace where that is, right? And it's saved for some special occasion, for some special guest. But that crockery never sees light of the day. Later is the bubble wrap that's made of someday that we put on our hopes, our love, our dreams. I'll be happy once I lose 6 kgs. I'll be happy once I get that promotion, get that placement, date that person, buy that car. We keep treating life like there is an update that's going to come, like this is just beta version and something better is going to come. Except this current, anxious, confused, glitchy version is all you've got. So Dadi had diabetes, but she used to eat ice cream every single day. Orange bar, the ice candy, or mango duet. All of us would scold her that, what are you doing, Dadi? Don't have this. But she would just say that, what's the worst that will happen? I'll die, but I'll die happy. And she did. She was joyfully defiant and so present in everything. I've never seen someone live in the present and appreciate the present so much. Not to say that I'm encouraging people with diabetes to give in to the temptation of consuming sugar, but it's just a metaphor. Does this have audio? If I play the video next? Alright, so regardless, she studied till 8th grade. She never learned English. She would probably call this TED Talk. And yet, here I am, her granddaughter, speaking in a language she never learned, at a platform she never heard of, sharing the one thing she already knew. Never postpone the present. Can we play the next video? Okay, so the audio is not here, but here I'm making her say, I am a cool girl. And you would get the TED Talk accent from here. But it's okay. After she left, I made a promise to myself to gift the gold bangles. Not the real gold, we all know the gold price these days, the metaphorical ones, of course. So, I do things before I'm ready. I talk even when it's clumsy. I use the fancy crockery on a random Tuesday. So, my request to you is to just be brave enough to not be handicapped by the crutch of later. If even one person today gets the courage to make that call, talk to your parents, because listen, we all say that parents, yeah, I'll talk to them later. It's not like they're going anywhere. Forever is again not real. It looks very nice on Valentine's Day cards and insurance ads, not so much in real life. So talk to them, talk to your grandparents, find out answers to questions you would regret not finding out of later. Reach out to the person you really like in a non-creepy way. Take that risk. Build that thing you've been postponing. Right now, you guys are in college, yes? If you want to build a side hustle, start content creation, build a different society, build a startup, just do it. Because you will not get a later. Later is just a LinkedIn friendly, comfortable, safe term for never. So take that risk, let this talk be a reminder that it really, really sucks if you don't do things at the right time. The regret really does not leave. So, if today even one of you promises me that after this you will do something and you will rescue a dream from its premature accidental death, then it would be the biggest gift to me, because then maybe, finally, I would have given Dadi her gold bangles after all. Thank you.